Hi, welcome to the Fantasy Football Clown Show. I'm your host, Ed Smith. Today we're going to take a look at a 12-team league called the COVID Kicker Replacement League. And the name really came because we started this league in 2020. It's one of the leagues I commissioner. And so it has kind of the same sort of theme that my 12-team leagues do, point scoring wise, 1 point PPR, 1.5 for the running back, and then 2 points for the tight end as far as PPR. Some points of distinction with this league: the kicker replacements. Basically, that's how rookie picks were chosen. So through the veteran draft, we just took a kicker, and that denoted the place that you picked in the rookie draft at each spot. So the more kickers you took, the more rookie picks you get. And so as this league started in 2020, you'll notice I have a lot of 2020 rookies. So I took a lot of kickers, and we'll go through a little bit of what that team was. Now, this will be the third year that this team is in existence, and so far it's really started out kind of slow. Had a last place finish and a second to last place finish, so I guess you could say we got a little better, but very much progressionally got better. But as I have an emphasis on the quarterback position, and we'll go through what we have starting wise here, we have two quarterbacks, two running backs, four receivers, and so let that sink in a little bit. Four receivers, two tight ends, two flexes for a total of 12 starters. And what makes this a little bit unique is that there's, in my opinion, several ways to build this team. So because the 1.5 point PPR, that kind of helps the running backs become a little bit, more valuable than it would be without that. But two quarterback league is so no super flex here, but you got to start two quarterbacks. This really puts value in the quarterback, and so I feel like in my mind, quarterbacks are the most valuable position, and then followed by tight end with a 2 point PPR and two tight end. So those two items together make that pretty valuable. Then the running backs and then receivers, but because there's four and you could start six, it becomes a pretty valuable situation as well. So still looking to gain picks, and then that way we can really fill in with young players. But taking a peek at the benches that we have here, we have a 14-person bench for six taxi. So that's kind of 20 players that you could have on the bench, and so 6 IR for 38 roster spots. So this is a big roster, really, for a 12-team league, and so a lot of players and very short waivers. And so that makes that four receiver starting really a valuable piece. So as we look at the quarterbacks, which I said were the most valuable, we have Kyler, and we have Burrow, Watson, Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Trevor, Mac Jones, Mills, and then we also have Huntley, Locke, Mond, and Ellinger. And so, but if you just kind of think of some of those guys starting, we have 8 starters. We have 8 if you count Mills. And so you start to look at 32 minus 8 with 24 for 11 teams. And, there's some chances that some of those other guys are going to come into being. And at some point, some of these teams are going to be without starting quarterbacks. And remember, we start 2, so no super flex here. So quarterbacks are king in this kind of format. And we own the quarterbacks. So we can kind of get whatever we need. Now, what this tells me that we have not added a whole lot of draft capital yet is what we're doing is we're losing every year with this massive amount of quarterbacks just driving the price up. And so there's going to be a larger gap year to year to year from the haves to the have-nots. So we're going to at least be putting people below us because they're going to find that, now we're going to be another year into this thing where, we're going to have, if Watson becomes a starter and Mills is a starter, now we've got another quarterback that somebody doesn't have, and we're just going to keep adding to that list of having quarterbacks, and at some point somebody needs to make a trade with us. Looking at the tight end room, we're very light for 2 starting tight ends with 2 point PPR. We have Dawson Knox and Harrison Bryant. Now, you guys I'm sure are aware that I have this man crush on Harrison Bryant. And, I think he's got a chance to be really special. It wouldn't shock me if he was a top 12 tight end this year. And so then that would be 2. If there's 2 in the top 12, then while we don't have very big numbers, at least we have 2 of the top of the tight end ones. So we're at least riding until the 2 bye weeks, for each of these guys.
At the running back position, there's some room to move, but we have some ability to trade away some stuff too. We start with Akers, and that's probably why we were only 11th place. So like with a healthy Akers, all of a sudden this team becomes actually fairly good. And Bryant stepping up naturally, but Akers, Howard, Jarrett Patterson, Cordell Patterson, and then we have Booker from the Giants, McKissick, Hilliard, Reynolds from the Lions, and Keyshawn Vaughn, Sermon, and Funk. So we took a lot of running backs there, and we have Patterson to move on from, Howard to move on from, McKissick to move on from. We got players to trade. So it looks like we maybe have them a little bit overvalued what other people are willing to pay, but we'll look for it to be a lot more aggressive this year, to trade those pieces or play those pieces. If they get off to a good run, maybe we'll just win with them until we can, kind of thing. The receiver room, I'm actually really excited about because I feel like it actually has some ability to win, even though we need four, and so we're in my mind one or two short. But we have Jerry Jeudy, C.D. Lamb, and then Gabe Davis. So those three feel pretty solid to me. And then if you add Quez Watkins and Callaway and Swain in there, there's some opportunities from dart throws, but we keep adding them through the rookie draft. I mean, there's always receivers that come out of these rookie drafts in the second round that or T. Higgins like, or Michael Pittman like, or even Justin Jefferson like. And this year, Amon-Ra St. Brown like. There's always second round receivers that we can pull. So, really think I'm excited to hit those hard, this year, and see what we can pull there, because I think in a league like this, that'll be paramount. All we need to do is hit one, right? We hit one, this year, next year, then all of a sudden now we have some real pieces to go along with Jeudy and Lamb and Davis. So we pick second, pick ninth, and not sure what they are, but may keep driving that quarterback value up. May take the running backs if they're there, and that would really look nice with Akers, a running back. And then looking at the 14 and 21 pick, there's opportunities for receivers there, or maybe that would be the right spot for McBride. There in a two tight end league. So there's opportunities depending on where things fall, and we might add some tight ends here. With pick 26 and 33 in the third round, again a little bit more dart throwing, but I do think that we'll probably be able to get 6 of the top 30 players that I want. So 1/5 of the players isn't a bad spot to be in if we're being honest. So that's a place where we have 6 of the top 30 coming to our team. I mean, that could be 4 starters, and if we have 4 starters that change over, that can change the whole dynamic of the team. And so if you add Akers in there, and then maybe a healthy Bryant, with a starting spot, then all of a sudden now we have 6 new starters for our team, and we really look like we have something with depth coming out the ears at quarterback, the most important position that we have. So pick 45 in the 4th round, pick 57, pick 69 in those later rounds. Those are really dart throws, and really know that we're just hoping that those kind of guys make the team, and maybe they can become 3rd round picks someday. So not a whole lot there. It's a league that we're 2 years in, so it is really time to start winning with this team. If I were to be real truthful about it, I don't like to be in this situation year 3. Always feel like it should be doing a little bit better than that. But having said that, don't want my impatience to rule the day. It's about ending well. So the league is solid with 12 teams, so it's not like the league folds up. I run the league, so I'm not too worried about it not being sustainable. But what I do know is that there's going to be people that will be, the haves and the have-nots will get larger. And if I'm patient enough, I just get a running back here, running back there, receiver here, receiver there, fill in the tight ends, and this team will win. And so with the quarterback room, it's going to, let's just say there's 4 teams that won't have quarterbacks this year. Well, now that puts me 4 teams behind, puts me right smack in the 8th position without even playing a game. So now I just really got to beat 2 teams to get to the playoffs. And so think about that. If you can take the team from 11th spot and only have to beat 2 teams to get to the playoffs for the 6th spot, get the 6th seed, and you go take a shot at one, and maybe you win, maybe you don't. But if you don't, that's fine. It's year 3. We went from 12th place, 11th place, 6th place, and we're on our way to a title in year 4. Then it was all worth it, because by year 4 now the team is pretty solid, and we can trade away some of this depth, and this might be a team that I might look to sell Burrow, because I'm looking around. I'm like, wow, Burrow, sell Burrow and Hurts, and hang on to Trevor and Kyler and Watson, and there's enough there. There's enough there, and what could you get for Burrow and Hurts these days? I mean, it might be draft capital for 23, 24, 25, 26. Like, I might be able to, get enough draft capital that I'm sitting here saying, geez, I got 3 or 4 picks in each of the next 4 drafts or something crazy. And what kind of return would that turn into? So that's kind of with a tight end coming back. Maybe this is a league where we can get a Troutman, get somebody young and up and coming, maybe a Hawkinson, maybe get him coming off of the not quite as good a year as maybe he would have, and so he'd be a key target for us. So that's kind of how I think in this team, and excited for where it goes. Looking over the draft, it looks like we went a balanced approach with it, and but happy with where the draft was, and how it really came out. It looks like we started this league with Murray and Watson, and then followed up with 3 rookie picks, and then went Baker Mayfield, Drew Lock, and then 2 rookie picks, and then Dwayne Haskins, and then a rookie pick. And so then we turned into Dawson Knox and Dan Arnold, and not having Dan Arnold on the team, I'm guessing that either traded him for something, or figured that he wouldn't be anything that was of value to us by the time we're ready to compete, or we dropped him before he took off. So which could happen. Man, I apologize for the yawn there. It's getting, it's early in the morning as we're recording this here, so apologize for that. But thank you guys all for hanging in there with me, and everything that you guys do to watch and follow, and look forward to the comments. This is one of those teams that I might get an attaboy on, because geez, it went from 12th place to 11th place, and then we're doing this video. So we'll be interested to see how it really comes out in the end, and how things are as we go, and maybe how the rookie draft helps out. But want to thank each of you for listening to the Fantasy Clown Show. Again, I'm your host, Ed Smith, and we'll look to come back tomorrow. And just want to reiterate, just to hit that like button, give us some love on there, and any comments you have in the comment section are much appreciated. And then subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for us. Thanks a lot, and have a great rest of your day.